Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is MJ Card and welcome to 5 beginner tips for mastering your sketch in the SolidWorks. The first thing we're going to talk about is mastering the sketching fundamentals. Mastering the sketching fundamentals, one, always know that you should fully define your sketch. First thing you need to learn how to do is fully defining your sketch. What do I mean by that? For example, I have a sketch. Like this. Okay. Now this sketch we have here is, you see it is highlighted in blue. It means this sketch is underdefined, and we have it written down here as an underdefined sketch. Now, what does that mean? It means that this sketch is free to move. It's just hanging in the SolidWorks. It's just floating. So it doesn't have a precise. It is not stable at all. You can move it as much as you want, and it is not something that you want your models to have. So how do you fully define your sketch in SolidWorks? You can fully define your sketch using sketch relations. You can define your sketch using dimensions. So those are the two things you use to define your sketch relations and dimensions. So when I want to fully define this sketch, I can start by adding dimensions to this. Let's make this 100 millimeters and make this 30 millimeters. So I use smart dimension, then click on the line or click on the two edges, this and this. It gives me the same thing. Click on the line and drag it out. It gives me the same thing. And make that 90. Make that 90. Now this sketch is still underdefined. It's still an underdefined sketch. So I can make this. What's the angle between this and this? Let's make that 55 degrees. Make that angle 55. Let's make this height 65. Now this sketch is fully defined. We know that it is fully defined because it is highlighted in blue, and we have it here as fully defined. Let's add something else. In this, we have a circle here. Now this circle is blue. It means it is underdefined. We have it here underdefined. Now what do? I want to fully define this sketch. Let me first add the dimension to this. Let's make this 20. That's the diameter of the circle is 20. Now I could have just added distance between this point and this point and find the center. The center of this place is 15. And if I do that, it's actually at the center. But then let's make this at this and this. Okay. And let's make that 30. Let's make that 53.5. So now we have this. It is fully defined. So the idea initially was to make this circle, at the center of this, at the center here, and we have that at the center actually. But if I want to adjust this place, and let's say I make this, I want to change the dimension of this place to be let's say 25. Now that this place is 25, this circle is no longer at the center of this line because this is 15 and this is 25. It's no longer at the center. Let's take it back. So if we want something that can be changed at any time, we use sketch relations. We also want this to be at the center of this place. So what we do is use sketch relations. Click on that line, hold your control key. Sorry, at the center of the circle, hold your control key, hover around this line, click the center of the line, and you see properties. The properties bar would show up. Then you can make vertical. So the relationship between this point and this point is a vertical relationship. Then click on that, hold your control over around this line and click on this point. Click on that center point here and make horizontal. Now, this sketch is fully defined. I didn't add dimensions there. I just used relations. It's at the center here. It's at the center here. So when I come here and change this to 20, let's say I use 20, it still remains at the center. I change this, I use 50. It's still at the center. If I change this 70, it's still at the center. So I wouldn't need to change any other thing, trying to change all the dimensions that I've used, because all I did was use sketch relations. All I did was use sketch relations to relate this sketch with something else within the geometry within what I am doing. And it is very, very important, something very important for you to learn and to know how to use, because it will help you design faster and make your work look neater. Instead of having a lot of dimensions, you just use sketch relations and you are good to go, you're fine. And another thing you need to learn is to try to make your sketch simple, not adding too many details. Instead of adding too many details in your sketch, you can use multiple features. For example, at times you might want to add fillets, fillet here, fillet here, fillet. If I want to do that, I'll be having too many complicated. There are times I can do that, and there are times you don't need to do that, so that you don't complicate the sketch. Instead of adding fillets, I can just extrude this. So the sketch is as simple as it is. Then I add fillet here now. So I'm not having too many details in my sketch. Let me not add that fillet. Let me do this. And just add fillet at the edges here. So in my sketch, I'm not having too many details in my sketch, but I still have the fillet. So when I want to adjust anything, I can just go back to the sketch, and what I'm having is not something too complicated. When I want to adjust my fillet, I know where the fillet is. I can just open the fillet tab and adjust that. So same goes to different other kinds of things, so you don't make your work look too complicated that you can't even adjust anything anytime you want anymore. So that about sketch relations. Another thing you need to learn is your keyboard shortcuts and mouse controls. There are a lot of keyboard shortcuts we have in the SolidWorks. We have when you hit the S, it brings out this command here where you can search any type of command you want. You can search for fillet, you can search for field surface, any feature that you want to look for. You can just do that instead of searching everywhere for it. Another one is we have Control 8. Control 8 is for normal view. Let's say I'm at this point and I want to see this model as it is from this viewpoint. I just press Control 8 and it takes me normal to that place. I'm here, I just Control 8, takes me normal to this place, Control 8, takes me normal to this place, Control 8. So it just takes you to the normal view of the closest normal view to where you are presently. And there are a lot of things you need. There are a lot of shortcuts you have. When you hit any model you have within the SolidWorks and hit the tab, you can hide that model. Okay, just here when you hit the tab, it It makes you able to hide it. Another thing, the spacebar takes you to view orientation. Spacebar takes you to view orientation, and control plus the arrows it helps you move your model left, right, up, down. Shift plus the arrows makes you move. You can rotate front, left, right, up, down. And for your mouse controls, the scroll bar you have on your mouse is for, you can use it to zoom in and zoom out. When you zoom out, you can just press F. It takes you normal. It brings you back to it fits your model back to the screen. It fits to screen. When I'm out, I just press F, I come back, and I zoom in and hit the F. I'm back to fit to screen. Then another thing you can is hitting when you press down the scroll bar on your mouse and move. You use that to rotate. Use it to rotate your sketch, your model, anything within the SolidWorks. And when you hit the control, you can use the control key plus the middle button in the mouse. You can use it to move. It's used to move your model around and we are within the SolidWorks. So the third one we're going to talk about is understanding the feature tree. Understanding the feature tree. Here we have at the left hand side of your screen, you have the feature tree there, where every single thing that you have used to create with whatever you have, whatever model you have, is in the feature tree. So the feature tree is like your time travel machine within the SolidWorks. You can use it to travel back in time. You can just go back to anywhere and you can see what you have done before. You can adjust anything. You can roll back to the very beginning, of your model and adjust whatsoever you want to adjust. You can, without causing any damage to your model. So the feature tree is something very, very important that you can use to your own advantage. And in the feature tree, you can rename every single thing that you have there just to keep your work organized. I can decide to rename this. How do you rename? You hit, when you click on it once and click again, you can rename it. Let's rename this. Let's make this legs, or let me make it chair, legs, and yeah. So I want to change the legs of the chair. I want to change the length, the thickness, whatever. This is it here. Once I click on it, I can edit feature and adjust whatsoever I want to adjust. I can come edit sketch. I can edit the sketch and change anything I want to change within the sketch. I can roll back, come back to this place. Okay, this is, I can rename this to wooden, let me just make this wood. And now I want to look for, the wooden part. Okay, this is the wooden part. I just come here and edit feature. Same thing here, anywhere. So you can easily rename anything just to keep your work organized, and you can easily access whatsoever you want to access in the SolidWorks. And this is called the rollback bar. It's called the rollback bar. Once you click on it and drag, you can use it to roll back, and you can suppress and unsuppress anything. Say this, I want to suppress this. I can suppress this. suppress this. I suppress this. Now it's like I went back in time and not do that. So it has gone away from the model. I can't find it here anymore, but I have not deleted it. It is still there. I can come back and unsuppress it, and it's back. I'll unsuppress it. Let's say I want to adjust anything, I can suppress that, adjust whatever I want to adjust, and everything is still intact. Everything I want to do, everything I've done is still intact. There's no damage. No damage has been caused, and it's something very important, something that if you know how to use well, you'll be able to manipulate your work and edit at anytime you want, anytime you like. So another thing we would learn is the fourth one is using relations and constraints efficiently. Learning to use relations, I talked about that when I was talking about mastering your sketch. When you want to mastering how to fully define your sketch, it is something very important. Learning to master your relations, sketch relations. So I want to draw something. I want to create a new. Okay, let me just. What I want to do now is I'll just suppress this and start a new sketch. Start a sketch. Let's make this. Okay. Let me not use this. Let me use a line. So now this sketch is underdefined. So your sketch can have three states. Your sketch can have three states. It can be underdefined, it can be fully defined, and it can be overdefined. When it is overdefined, it will be in red. When it's underdefined, it's blue. When it's fully defined, it's black. So what we're going to do is try to use relations, sketch relations, to fully define this sketch. So I would start with this. Talked about adding dimensions, say 50. Now let's use sketch relations. Okay, let me make the height between this and let's make that 100. Now let's add sketch relations to this. I want to make this and this. I want the angle between this and this line and this line to be 90 degrees, meaning I want to add a perpendicular relationship. So I click those two lines. And I come to add relations. When I click on the first, I hold my control key and click on the second. I hold and I come to add relations. There is perpendicular. Click on perpendicular. Now it is perpendicular. I did not add any angle between them. If I come here and try to add my angle, you see it's already 90 degrees. So I do not need to add an angle to make it 90 degrees. It's already 90 degrees. So I want to add sketch relations to this. What do? I want this and this to be collinear. I make it collinear. Now it is collinear. I can change that. Okay, let me add one more. Let me add one more line to this. Okay, just this like this. So I want to have as many lines as possible so I can have a lot of sketch relations here. All right, so let's add sketch relations to this, between this, and okay, let's make this and this. Let's add parallel. So those two lines are parallel to each other. This line and this line are parallel to each other. Let me add this and this. Let's make that perpendicular. And this line and this line are perpendicular. Since this line and this line are parallel to each other, so this and this are also, this and this line and this line, they are also perpendicular to each other. So I can add this dimension to this. Let's make that 40. And I can make this and this add an equal relationship between them. So this line and this line, they're equal. I can add between this and this also, add equal relationship. So this line and this line are equal. I can add equal relationship between this and this also, make it equal. So this line, this line, this line, and this line, they're all equal. So I can add another sketch relation to this, between this and this. Let's make that let's make it perpendicular. Okay, let me just add an angle there between this and this. Let's make it 140. Well, that's 140 degrees. So I can, let's make this between this and this, make that tangent, and this between this and this, and make that tangent. So between this, so this line is tangent to this arc, this line is also tangent to this arc, and I can make this and this. Okay, no solution found. Alright, let's add dimension to that. Let's make that 115. So that 115 and this equal. Okay, it can be equal. Alright, so let's add another dimension to this. Okay, now we have something like this. It's asking, make dimension. Do I want to make this dimension driven? Why is it asking that question? Because it's this this place, there's no need to add dimension to this place because I already have this. This is equal. This is equal. These lines here are already equal. I have an angle here. I have a distance between this and this. I have the distance between this and this. I have a vertical distance between this and this. And I have an arc here. And this arc is tangent to this line and this line. So it's like automatically this already have a fixed dimension since all these sides and these sides have been assigned dimensions. So there is no need for me to add any other dimension. So if I want to make this dimension driven, meaning I just want to show that dimension there because I cannot adjust this dimension because of all the other dimensions that have been put in place. So you can click OK. You can make this dimension driven or leave this dimension driven. So let's just leave that. Now it is still underdefined. So let's bring this. Now once you start the sketch, the only defined place you have, the only position that is defined in the sketch is the center point. It's the origin rather. It's the origin of your sketch. This is the only place that is fully defined by default in SolidWorks. So any other thing you're adding to the sketch you are the one that you have to fully define the sketch yourself. Now that this is fully defined, this is underdefined, so I will just drag this. No matter how you dimension your work, you cannot, it will still be underdefined so long it is not fixed to this origin. So I can drag it and fix it to this origin, or I just click on that, hold the Ctrl key, click on the center and make coincidence. So I make coincidence, it automatically fixes itself with this. I can undo that. I can also create a center line, click on that, and this, escape and add dimension to that. Make this 50. So now I'm telling the software that I have a distance between this origin and this place, and I also have a vertical relationship because of this line with this origin. So I cannot move this anywhere because I have a vertical relationship and a distance relationship. So this sketch is fully defined. It's not floating. It is fixed at a point. And another thing you can learn is using your center line to create sketches that are symmetric on both sides. Now I have something like this, and I want to create another sketch at the other side, but it should be the same with this. All I need to do, okay, let's say let's make this line and make it for construction. So I can come here and use mirror entities to mirror. I click on this line, so I click on all the lines I want to mirror and mirror about. So the axis I want to mirror it about is the center line. I click on that center line and I hit the green check. Now I've mirrored this. So this side is symmetric to this side. So I can now extrude this. Let's make that 70. And now here's what we have. So this side is symmetric to this side, so there is no need for me to try to start adding dimensions, how to recreate this sketch again. All I need to do is just mirror it to the other side and I have my sketch. I can also mirror this down. Same thing, I can click mirror. So the mirror face or plane, I click on this. So I want to mirror it downwards and click for this to mirror. Let's click on that and I hit the green check. Now this is what I have. So there was no need for me to try to create this sketch over and over and over and over and over again. All I need to do is mirror it and I have this beautiful sketch. I have this beautiful model created already. So that is that about that. And the last thing we're going to talk about is saving and organizing your work. When you are working, make sure you save your work with a name you can easily identify with. When you are creating different parts, you can create templates for different parts and create folders in your documents for each of the parts. You are learning this feature I'm using. So at this point, I'm going to use extruded bus base revolve. So you can create folders for different kind of things in your documents, so that you'll be able to access different things at different times. You don't need to look for this, look for that, look for that. Organize your work so that you can make reference to it in the future. You can always go back and see, I did this at this time, it is in this folder. I did this at this time, it is in this folder. this is what I want to remember. It is in this folder. I can easily go back there and check for it, and it would really help you organize your work, and you don't lose progress of anything you have been doing. And so that concludes this video. The first one I talked about is mastering your sketch fundamentals, the smart dimension, sketch relations, and the others. The next one I talked about is keyboard shortcuts and mouse controls. Shortcuts and mouse controls. We have the third one I also talked about is understanding the feature tree, where the feature tree is like your time travel machine within the SolidWorks. You can easily go back and do whatever you want to do. And the fourth one is using sketch relations effectively, and the last is manage and save your files. Keep them organized so that you can easily go back and check whatever you want to do. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I encourage you to like, subscribe, and share. Let me know in the comment section whatever you want me to explain, and I'll be there. See you in the next video.